Hey everyone, so today's video is going to be about hookup culture, dating, booty calls, relationships, sex, and just everything that kind of goes into all those categories. Really love making these videos. Honestly, I get a lot of really cool feedback from you guys. I get a lot of you that really agree with me and you say we're really similar in the way that we live our lives or think about certain things. And then I also get a lot of you that comment and have completely differing opinions, which I think are super helpful and just really opening up a discussion in the comments below so that other people maybe going through these similar situations can kind of see both sides of the idea and then can kind of take that and apply it to their own lives to hopefully help them make the choice that fits their personal situation. So first, going off on hookup culture, kind of what that is, my thoughts around it. So hookup culture is, I guess, basically kind of for young people right now what the whole dating scene is. I think it is just kind of the general idea of that hooking up with someone, you know, an intimate act like that is seemingly more casual and maybe less just intense and less, you know, serious than going on a date with someone. Now, hold on for a second. I know that can sound kind of strange, but really think about it. I think it's become very, very common to have the whole like Netflix and chill, very just maybe almost surface level relationships that do kind of revolve around physical intimacy. And I think it also has become very rare to actually go on real dates. You know, a date where you go out, someone picks you up, you know, at the end of the night you go home, you leave it like that, and you know, continue that as you get to know each other before any of the physical stuff really comes into play. Now, I totally am not here to shame anyone that wants to be physical with someone they are not intimately with, or with someone early on, or with someone they don't even have any consideration or possibility of dating. But I do think it's interesting to kind of dissect it a little bit more and kind of dive into the fact of, is this what people actually want? Or is this just the norm? And so, you know, typically people don't like to go against the grain of what happens to be normal because it's kind of human nature to follow what everyone else is doing. So after much consideration and talking to my friends and also other people and just kind of gathering, you know, opinions and thoughts from both girls and guys, I've come to realize that this is pretty common. I think right now what is going on is people do feel like that is a less serious kind of commitment to be hooking up with someone, but to not actually be dating them, to not have any intent on dating them, and to not really actually have any furthering of a relationship beyond that. Now, I do think that for your own personal opinion, you have to kind of define what your boundaries are on that. I also think that, you know, just to kind of give an example, it's gotten to the point now where a lot of girls are more willing to engage in casual sex and casual intimacy than maybe they were before. And you know, if you think back to maybe like when our parents were young, or you go even further back when our grandparents were young, it was pretty typical to be courted by a guy, to go on multiple dates, to have him meet your family, all that kind of stuff. Maybe before the intimacy was introduced, it definitely probably back then wasn't super typical to just go over to someone's house and sleep with them the first night. And then of course also have that not actually mean that you were exclusively together. But I think now that is kind of the thing, and that seems to be what a lot of young people are doing. So like I said, you do have to really dive into if personally it's going to work for you, and then also to kind of dissect a little bit more why it's going on. So my findings are that it's going on because we are allowing it. I think, you know, like I said back a while ago, in order to maybe move to that process of getting to the intimate part, getting to that phase of a relationship, you did have to go on the dates, you did have to get to know each other, and you had to kind of move in levels almost. Now, of course, I don't think there's any real way to date. I think you should let it flow naturally, and if you know, are immediately attracted to someone and that is what feels right for you, by all means do your thing. But if you are wondering why that hasn't been as common anymore, I think it is because girls are now willing to do that, and it may not necessarily be by their own merit or desire. I think nowadays it's so common that girls almost think that's just what they have to settle for, and they think that it's kind of a thing of the past for guys to take you on a date, to be, you know, a gentleman, and to maybe even put in that time and effort forth. And now one thing that I will say is, if you do not allow it, I think that is your best case scenario for not getting stuck in a situation like that. I have had a lot of DMs and questions about, you know, how can I, you know, move out of this friends with benefits situation? I don't want to be a booty call. I don't want this guy to just text me at night to come over and hang out because I know what that's code for. And I honestly think the number one way to get out of that situation is to probably not get in it in the first place. I think you establishing your worth and your boundary with someone is very, very needed, because let's be honest, if they are getting the same benefit without doing the work, you know, a smart business person would probably take that route, because let's be real, you know, if you hire a lazy person to do a job, they're going to find the easiest way to get it done. And I think that can be applied to dating. You know, if you are giving this person the same, I don't want to say reward because I don't think sexual things should be a reward, but if you are giving them the same, I guess, benefits of what they would get out of a relationship, having a very casual, not relationship, then of course I feel like that's kind of human nature that that's what guys are going to allow to continue as well. I do watch a lot of Matthew Hussey's videos. If you haven't seen him, I highly recommend him. He gives a really good kind of perception and view on kind of a male's mind. I of course love to talk about relationships and sex and all this stuff, but I am a female, so of course my own opinions are based off my own experiences. And if you are interested in seeing more of a guy's view, definitely check him out. But something really cool that he says to how to kind of work through, you know, that booty call text, or if someone asks you to come over and you know where it's leading, or you just aren't comfortable with, you know, I guess the expectations and the boundaries that someone is setting before you've allowed it. I think a really interesting thing is to, you know, number one, respond to that if it is someone that you like and it is someone that you would like to further things with, but you just don't want that, you know, really casual booty call type of scenario going on. What you should do is you shouldn't immediately shut them down. You definitely shouldn't respond, you know, in a rash, cruel way, like, why would you ever think I would do that? Like, you know, you are so rude, like, get over yourself. I think you should definitely respond in a way that shows desire and that shows that you would be interested in it, almost in a way of saying something along the lines of, you know, I think that you have me confused with someone that knows you a little bit better than I do. While I would actually love for that to happen, I think it's a little early. Or to even say something along the lines of, you know, that sounds really great, but honestly, I think I need to know you as a person a little bit more before I decide if you are someone I want to be intimate with. And now I don't think any of those are, you know, being rude or shutting someone down. I think honestly that's just making a guy understand that you have that desire, you would like that to happen, but you also are holding yourself at a little bit of a higher standard, a higher boundary, and you're maybe not giving in as easily. This is not a ploy or manipulation at all. Obviously, if you just want to hook up with someone for the fun of it, go for it, do it. But if you are doing that and then you also are still wondering how to get out of that situation, how to move it forward, like I said, I think the best thing is to set it up like that from the beginning. Also, a major silver lining to this is once you actually do, you know, maybe hang out with someone not in a situation where you could hook up, you know, example, not just going over to their house or not just, you know, coming over late night or something like that. If you do, you know, go do things during the day or, you know, talk about things that really explain who they are as a person, what their intentions are, what their hopes and dreams are, you also might learn that it's someone that you don't want to be intimate with. And I think that can also be something great to kind of save you, you know, just that heartache and also, you know, just that personal feeling of maybe you will get to know someone on a deeper level before you take that step, and maybe you'll kind of be glad that you did. I know for me personally, I think that, you know, intimacy is a huge part of a relationship, a huge part of a situation. But, you know, I think that there are people that if you took time to get to know them, you probably would have a different decision on if you actually wanted that with them. So let me know your thoughts on this, your thoughts on hookup culture. Are you someone that participates in it? Do you like it? Do you wish that we could go back to, you know, kind of like the olden days where people did go on dates? That was, you know, the norm. That was more of a thing that just happened. Or do you like this? Do you like that it's casual, it's kind of carefree, and it really, you know, a lot of times has no labels, has no really constricting boundaries, and it's just kind of, you know, go with the flow, do whatever. I'm definitely someone who can see both sides of this, but I would love to hear your comments and thoughts below. Definitely feel free to open the discussion. Let me know if you are into the hookup culture or you are against it. And then also any thoughts and comments you have on how to maybe get out of that situation if you are in that situation and you don't want to be, or maybe give some of the benefits of being in a situation. Maybe being in a very casual, you know, loosely defined situation has been great for you, and I think other people would love to hear about that. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you later. Bye.